Hello guys, today I'll be talking about 4 different companies. The first company is Block, then there's Intuitive Surgical, Pinterest and Etsy. Firstly, let us go through Block's share price and earnings. The company missed its first quarterly earning from last year. It bet its second and third quarterly earning from last year. It then missed its fourth quarterly earning estimate, and the estimate for their first quarterly earning this year is greater than the estimate for the quarterly earning from last year. In terms of the share price, the company started at the beginning of the pandemic. The company was at 74.69 and reached a peak of 268. Intuitive Surgical bet its first quarterly earning from last year. It missed its second quarterly earning, bet its third, and missed its fourth quarterly earning from last year. Here again, the estimate for their first quarterly earning for this year is greater than the estimate for their first quarterly earning from last year. In terms of the share price, the company at the beginning of the pandemic was at 186.59 and reached a peak of 359.3. Pinterest bet its first quarterly earning from last year. It missed its second, but then it bet its third and fourth quarterly earning from last year. Unfortunately, here we can see that the estimate for their first quarterly earning for this year is lower than the estimate for the first quarterly earning from last year. In terms of the share price, the company started at 22.03 and it reached a peak of 80.58. Etsy met its first quarterly earning. It bet its second quarterly earning, but then it missed its third and fourth quarterly earning from last year. And the estimate for their first quarterly earning for this year is at the same level as the first quarterly earning estimate from last year. In terms of the share price, the company started off at 48.81 and reached a peak of 274.58. Now let us go and talk about their respective financial statements. The first financial statement I would like to discuss is Block's financial statement. Now, for those who don't know, Block is a company which produces tools which allow sellers to accept card payments. This is quite a profitable industry, especially nowadays when hard cash is becoming more rare and card payments are becoming increasingly more available and more used. Especially now that there's Apple Pay and Google Pay. In any case, during this time period, the company managed to increase its revenue exponentially from 4,713 million in 2020 to 17,661 million in 2022. That being said, income did not increase during this time period. On the contrary, it decreased. It fell from 375 million to 158 million in 2022. This is highly concerning to me. The company's expenses are too high. They need to reduce it. It also indicates to me that although revenue increased dramatically during this time period, expenses for this company increased even more drastically. Which is an even bigger concern of mine. I would like to see and further an increase in revenue in the future, but more importantly, I want the company to get a grip on their expenses, decrease them, and prevent them from increasing further in the future. That is all I have to say about this company. There's no point of going further into their financial statement. They need to get a grip on their expenses. If they get a grip on their expenses, then their financial statement will look much better. In any case, let us now move on to the next company. The next company I'd like to talk about is Intuitive Surgical. The company's financial statement is very good. They increased their revenue from 4 billion to 6 billion in 2023. Their income rose from 1 billion in 2021 to 1,344 million in 2023. It was higher in 2022 at 1,728 million. Hopefully in the future the company will manage to increase their income, recover that amount of income. But other than that, overall their financial statement is good. They have a good ratio between their current assets and current liabilities. Their receivables are not too high, and they have good cash and short-term bond reserves. The company is also expanding their influence in the market. In 2022, the company bought Orpheus Medical. Orpheus Medical specializes in information technology and connectivity. It provides surgical videos to hospitals and provides databases to hospitals. This is good news to investors. The company is increasing their influence around the world by improving their databases. In any case, that is all I have to say about this company. Let's now move on to the next company. Pinterest increased its revenue from $1,692,000,000 in 2021 to $2,802,000,000 in 2023. Unfortunately, Pinterest suffers from the same problem as Block. Their income is drastically smaller than their revenue. In this case, not only that it is smaller, it is negative. This is highly concerning to us as investors. The company needs to address this issue quickly. They need to reduce their expenses so that income becomes positive, and hopefully they can increase it even more. Apart from that, their financial statement is good. They do have a lot of reserves, cash and short-term reserves, which provide stability to the company. The company is capable of facing difficult times thanks to these reserves. They also have a good ratio between current assets and current liabilities. The only problem is their income, and this is a big problem. For that reason, I will place Pinterest in the same location as Block. In any case, let us move on to the final company, Etsy. The final company, Etsy, increased its revenue from 818 million to 2,329,000,000 in 2022. The company's income rose during this time period from 95 million to 493 million in 2022. The company's income to equity ratio is good. Their current assets and current liability ratio is good as well. The company made significant movements in their respective market. They acquired 3 companies, 3 e-commerce companies during 2021 and 2022. They acquired Depop, a British e-commerce company, for 1 billion. Then they acquired Elo7 and Reverb. Both companies also function in the same market as Etsy. This is good news to investors. The company is expanding their influence, their control over their respective market, and hopefully these large acquisitions profit them in the near future. In any case, that's all I have to say about Etsy. Let us now review all 4 companies. I'm going to place Intuitive in the buy section. The company has a strong financial statement. They have good revenue, income, and equity. They have a strong financial condition, value, and they do have the opportunity to grow. And from their acquisition, we can see that the managers want to expand the company. They want to increase their influence. on their respective market, and that's very good news to us as investors. I'm going to place Isrg in the OK section, but leaning towards buy. The only concern that I have with the company is that the acquisitions, the recent acquisitions were significant acquisitions. They did cost a lot of money to the company, and if the company manages to profit from these acquisitions, then I'll place them in the buy section. As for Pinterest and Block, I am going to place them in the careful section. Same concern for both of them. Income is too low. They need to reduce their expenses by a significant margin, and they need to improve their income. If they do that, then I'll place them higher up in the rating table. But for now, I'm placing them in the careful section. In any case, that's all I have to say. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like and subscribe. And in the next video, I'll talk about Disney, Amazon, TransUnion, and Equifax.